Welcome to this edition of Keeping It Rich with Sakina. I am your host, Sakina Spruell. Today, I have with me my really good friend, Randal Pinkett, who, as you all know, won The Apprentice in season 4, which my mother reminded me yesterday. Donald Trump actually asked him to share it with a non-black person, which was the first time, and Randal kind of came up with a new word that time, saying that it's The Apprentice, not The Apprentice. I recall correctly, and of course, you know, he's Oxford grad and all that, so we're going to assume that apprentice was a real word. I don't know if we ever really figured that out, but let's not go too far,
Doesn't
of course.
matter.
So welcome, Randal. Thank you for
Good
coming.
to be here.
There's a lot of talk about Donald Trump and whether or not he's rich, about his taxes, whether he's paid his taxes, whether he really made any money. And so I know with you, you actually worked in his business for a little bit and all that, and I kind of wanted your view on that.
Right. So Donald's made a series of mistakes relative to his taxes. First, he's promoted himself as being successful, but now the returns that were released show a nearly $1 billion loss. I don't know how you skirt the argument of saying you're successful when you're showing a $916 million loss on your taxes. So that negates the argument around business success. And that to me is the point, which is not smart. You're not a smart entrepreneur if you're losing nearly $1 billion. Second thing was not releasing the taxes, which still has this specter of the unknown. What are you hiding? And if he would challenge me on that, I say, well, then just release the taxes and show us the truth, and we can make our own conclusion. So I think both on the success argument, he's discredited himself, and on the idea that he's not paid his fair share, he's left that open to interpretation, which we often assume the worst, which is he didn't pay his fair share.
Exactly, which also probably lends itself to why he's constantly audited, as he brags about being audited all the time. I mean, I had the opportunity to spend breakfast with Warren Buffett a few years back in a program I was doing with Columbia. And, you know, I find Warren Buffett to be incredibly shrewd and, you know, great investor, great businessman. And, you know, he just would not, you know, tout the fact that, oh, I didn't pay my taxes, there's all these loopholes. And even with him, there's still some level of taxes to be paid.
Right.
You know, so it's true, there are some loopholes and we all find them whenever we can, you know, donating to the charity or whatever you're doing with your money. But to the point of saying you have not managed to pay any taxes in several years, that definitely is alarming.
Again, if I think about patterns, Donald has a pattern of taking advantage, taking shortcuts, seeking loopholes, and it wouldn't surprise me if the taxes are ever to be released, that we would see some issues with the taxes that wouldn't quite be above board. And to your point, if you're running for president, it's not the best soundbite to say you've been paying zero taxes toward the military, toward healthcare, toward schools, toward infrastructure, when you're seeking to improve upon all those.
Exactly, because what is supposed to happen to the rest of us that's walking around here? And if everyone, you decide now you're going to share your tricks as to how you can get around paying taxes, then no one's going to pay taxes that's in a higher tax bracket. And so then everybody's going to be in a poor public school. Your road will never get fixed. So everybody who's in the inner city that claims when the snow comes and they go, oh, you know, these potholes are killing me. Oh, those potholes are going to kill you even more because there's no tax money coming into the federal government. So nothing's going to trickle down into the city government, and nothing's going to come down to your block, your neighborhood, or your school. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous to say you want to be the president, but you don't understand why we need to pay taxes in America. So,
well said.
Thank you. I think I wanted him to come so I could say that and have a good reason. But thank you so much for being here.
I can help you with that, Sakina.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Pinkett. And again, I am Sakina Spruell, your host on Keeping It Rich with Sakina. Check us out on Twitter at Keeping It Rich.